So now we come to the second model of power, which is the elite control model. So in this model, the assumption is that different elites or group of elites control the policy-making process. So they run all the major institutions in the country, whether it's legislature or executive or judiciary. And there's little accountability by the people. The accountability that exists is within the elite groups. So they are made accountable by their own 10, 20, 100, 500 people. So they are the only ones they are accountable to. And elite model doesn't say that the democratic institutions don't exist. Elite model can work even when there is democracy. So even under democracy, where there are parliaments and mass media and elections, business elite can get together and control. For example, business elite, bureaucratic elite, military elite, religious elite, they can get together and control the parliaments or become presidents and prime ministers. Why elite control? Because every society has people who have more wealth, more social standing, more education. And of course, more social standing, more wealth gives them power. They can do things which others cannot do. And they can make other people do things which they don't want to do. For example, a sajada machine or peer can ask persons to do something which it will not do. A businessman who has money can hire people to do something which they don't want to do. So they have power. Elites, there cannot be any society without elites. Elites exist in every society and they have power. So, but what makes elite model a little bit less autocratic is the conflict of interest between different groups. So the religious elite may work against the military elite or against the political elite. And that, clash of interests may give the public interest some way out. So ordinary people may benefit because different types of elite are clashing. But while elites and elite groups clash, there are always linkages. So elites in a society are linked with each other, whether they are same schools or social backgrounds or neighborhoods or same clubs or hobbies. So people who play golf, ordinary people don't play golf. People who have membership of Gymkhana or Islamabad club, ordinary people don't have. So these are the areas or sports where elite meet and they associate with each other, create linkages. So an example of elite control is in Britain, which is of course the oldest democracy, is the Oxbridge control of the different institutions in Britain. So Oxbridge is two universities, the University of Oxford and the Cambridge University. So if you look at Britain and their elites, most of their civil servants come from these two universities. Most of their cabinet ministers in the last few decades come from these two universities. Most of the barristers and judges come from these two universities. Most of the journalists who control the media and have come from these two universities. So if you are from these two universities, you are part of the elite. You can associate, you can call people who were there when you were studying there and now they are in high positions. Similar is the case of, for example, we can say that in Pakistan it's the HSN College or Cadet Colleges Hasnabdar or other colleges government college where people who study with you eventually rise to high positions, and you can use your connections or old school type connections to connect with them and to get your own policies, your own interest be ingrained in the public policies. But is the elite model always regressive? does it always works against the people? No. For example, the welfare state in Britain. The welfare state in Britain, as we have discussed before, was established in the 40s and 1950s. So the elites, of course, were powerful. There was, of course, Britain was a democracy. People had power, but elites controlled most of the levers of policy making. Even then, they came up with this welfare state. The Whitehall mandarins or bureaucrats and some of the left-leaning politicians rose up and worked against the elite interest and for the people interest to come up with this welfare state. Similarly, the National Health Service, this was made by again by the bureaucrats and the left-leaning politicians who are part of the elite, but they work for the people. If you look at the Communist Party in China, again, it's an elite group of technocrats or specialists or belonging to one party. But if you look at their policies are also, people-friendly. They are not against the people. So we can argue that even when there is elite control, it can result in some good policy making. Thank you.